Hello, I am Maria Luisa Carrillo Pastor, and I'm going to explain you how to express conditional facts in English, right? How to use the conditional sentences in English. In this sense, then, we have to take into account that in English we can express conditions in three different ways. We can use the first conditional sentence, or second conditional sentence, or the third conditional sentence. I'm going to explain in this presentation the three kinds of conditional sentences, and I'm going to give you some examples. I hope it will be useful for you to express condition, right? First of all, in the first conditional, or sometimes it's called zero conditional, we have a double way of expressing it. We can express facts that always happen. For example, if you heat water, it boils, right? Then it's present and present. As you see, we have in conditional sentences two parts. One is the conditional sentence, and the other one is the if sentence, or the if clause that we call in English, right? So the first part that you can see in the transparency is the conditional sentence, the tense, the verb tense of the conditional clause, and the second part is the tense of the if clause. As you see in the example, for example, you pass the course if you study. Then it's present, the condition, you pass the course, then if you study, right, with if clause, right? So notice that here we are using present and present. You can also say, you will pass the course if you study, right? The difference between you pass the course and you study, or you will pass the course if you study, in the first one is something that I consider that is going to happen, and in the second one is a possible condition, but I'm not 100% sure, right? What about the second conditional? In the second conditional, I use it when I am talking or I am expressing improbable sentences. I don't know. I don't really know if this is going to happen or not. And the structure that we use in this case is would plus infinitive and the if plus past tense, right? For example, you would pass the exam if you studied. As you can see, I don't know if it's going to be possible. You would pass, perhaps, but if you studied, I'm not sure. This is improbable. I am expressing to you that it is improbable. I don't know, right? And in the third conditional, I'm talking about facts that happen in the past. So they are impossible sentences in the sense that they refer to the past. The structure here is would plus have and plus participle plus the if plus a perfect form of the verb, of tense of the verb, right? You have an example here. You would have passed the exam if you had studied. So we are talking about the past, and this person failed the subject, and then the teacher says, you would have passed the exam if you had studied, but the student can't do anything about that. We are talking about the past, right? And this is the third conditional. You have more example. Notice that here we use, if I were you, I would study more. With this conditional, we are giving advice to someone, and notice that we don't say we say if I were you instead of saying if I was you. We use were because really this is the subjunctive form of the verb, right? That in English is expressed all in the same way. It's I were for all the person. I were, you were, he were, she were, etc. Then when we use this past form, we have to use with the verb to be always were in a conditional, remember, okay? In the second conditional, right? And the second example is about the third conditional. It's impossible. We are talking about the past. You would have been famous if you had published that book, right? We are thinking about the condition that could have happened in the past. And the last one, the third one, is about the first conditional. If you heat water, it boils, right? Present and present. More examples here. If you work very hard, you are promoted. If you work very hard, you would be promoted. In the first one, it's the first condition that I think is going to happen. The second one, notice that the second part is in the passive voice. The second one is the second conditional. If you work very hard, you will be promoted. It's a condition, I don't know, I'm not sure about that. And the third one, it's impossible. If we are talking about the past, if you had worked very hard, you would have been promoted. Then it depends on what you want to express. You have to use different tenses and different ways of expressing what you see, reality. And that's it. I hope it will have been helpful for you, and bye.